and riding a mechanical bull. Good luck. My buddy did his eye looked like somebody beat on him. It was all black and blue. He fell off the bull. Over here on the right is the comedy store coming up. That's owned by Pauly Shore's mother. All the comedian signatures. On the other side is the House of Blues, Dan Aykroyd's House of Blues. President Bill Clinton played a saxophone there once when he was president. Jennifer Lopez has performed there. Bob Marley performed there. Christina Aguilera, the Goo Goo Dolls, Ozzy Osbourne, and many others. Now this is a Sunset Strip. It's the longest boulevard of Los Angeles. It's 26 miles long. It goes through Hollywood, West Hollywood, Beverly Hills, Holmby Hills, Brentwood, and all the rest of it. If you look to the left, you're going to see a big row of buildings. To the left, skyscrapers over there. That's the Miracle Mile. Billy Joel Sr. going to cruise the Miracle Mile. That was lined with oil barracks in the 20s because Los Angeles is a city built on oil. It's all about oil here. It's actually the capital of oil in America. You'll never hear a politician tell you that, though. There's more oil here than there is in Saudi Arabia. I can recommend a good movie if you like movies. If you haven't seen it, I recommend There Will Be Blood. That's the story of Sinclair, Doheny, Alfonso Bell, and Gilmore. Over here, Soul Moonshine here. He built the Pink Flamingo Casino in Las Vegas. Of course, he was gunned out by the mob when he was 41 years old at 810 Linden Drive in Beverly Hills, and it didn't work out for him too good. Over here on the right, this white building, this for lease, that was Tower Records. Axl Rose, lead singer of Guns N' Roses, was a clerk there before climbing his way to rock and roll stardom. He also had a newspaper stand on Melrose Boulevard. And then he played the clubs at night. This is a rock and roll section right here. The Viper Room on the left. River Phoenix overdosed on heroin. He died in front of his girlfriend at 23 years old right there. Tommy Lee made a paparazzi at this time. The Whiskey A Go-Go on the right. This is one of the most famous clubs in the entire world. You can stop here for a minute because I've got the parking for once in my life. You'll see a famous plaque on the wall stating it's one of the most famous clubs in the entire world. The Doors played here, the Red Hot Chili Peppers, the Grateful Dead, the Ramones, Johnny Cash, Lady Gaga last summer, the Rolling Stones, the Beatles. Motley Crue performed here 10 years before getting their first hit album. Motley Crue. So this is where they paid their dues. Whiskey. Every night there's a wild party here, trust me. There'll be lines of people up and down here. But that's a crazy place to party there. The Whiskey, world famous. On the left, the Hustler Building, that's owned by Larry Flint. Woody Harrelson made a movie about his life and time. He's all about freedom of speech. They tried to shut his magazine down, saying it was smutty, and he took it to the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court ruled in his favor. Freedom of speech. Then somebody shot him. Now he's in a gold-plated wheelchair. Over on the right, the Roxy. John Belushi had his last meal upstairs at the Roxy before killing himself with drugs at the Chateau Marmont. John Lennon and Yoko Ono sang a duet there. Bruce Springsteen performed there when no one knew his name. Electric Light Orchestra performed there. The Rainbow. Marilyn Monroe and Joe DiMaggio had their first date there, later married and divorced. This building here used to be Gazzari's. I was good friends with Mr. Gazzari. Now, some of the bands that performed here as amateur bands, Motley Crue, Twisted Sister, Guns N' Roses, Poison, Whitesnake, performed there as amateur bands. This is Doheny Drive, named after Edward Doheny, the founder of Standard Oil 1913, an oil tycoon. I'm going to show you his house up ahead. They won't tolerate that because there's a lot of uppity people there. They like their drugs prescribed by a doctor. They're better than everybody else. They've got a prescription. Wayne Manor from the original Batman and Robin TV series. This is Wayne Manor. This is where they did Ghostbusters. Yeah, I said that. No, they did some other shows here. I'm trying to think of what the other shows did. Falcon Crest was done here. Dynasty was done here. Scenes. And the Fabulous Baker Boys, The Big Lebowski, The Witches of Eastwick. They did some other stuff. I can't. They did so many movies here. I can't remember them all. They did a lot of movies here. A lot of movies. Now, I'm going to tell you something that most people don't know, because I got good learning. We're sitting right now on top of 40% of the water of Beverly Hills. You see, the Beverly Hills, people that live in Beverly Hills, if something ever went wrong, they're not going to run out of water like the rest of LA. The only place where there's water in all of Los Angeles, which you have to understand stretches all the way to the Mojave Desert, right? Los Angeles is gigantic, not just this little city here. The only place where there's water in all of Los Angeles, hundreds of square miles, is in Beverly Hills. It's an actual aquifer. It comes out of the ground. They built this in the 1940s. We're sitting on top of 40%, literally 90 millions of gallons of water is directly below us. I've got a picture of the reservoir before they paved over it, with stair steps and big giant pillars. So we're sitting on top of 90 million gallons of water right now.
I mean, when they come out here to get donations, right? They go to Hancock Park. What's the story about Hancock Park? Nobody knows. No one knows. Why was it stolen?
What are you honking your horn for, man? Take a pill. It's a red light. Okay. Down the Hollywood Walk of Fame. See some of the craziness here. It's still waking up. Hollywood's just waking up from last night. Last night was Saturday night, so it was probably pretty rough. You can see this is Whitley Drive here, named after the founder of Hollywood, J.C. Whitley. The signs have a lot of meaning in Hollywood, like they do in some places. There's the crest, the Chris Brown shot that you can see here. Little Hollywood magic for everybody. Magic. Tis magical. So in Frank's Grill, you can see the bare Hollywood Hills up there in the distance. That's where they fly the helicopters over in the sitcom MASH. Alan Alda, MASH was filmed up in the Hollywood Hills. The old supply sergeant, that's a good place to buy Army stuff there, the supply sergeant. And you can see a good view of the Scientology building there, the old Christie Hotel. The Pig and Whistle on the left. Stefano's, that's the best pizza place there is, trust me. Trust me. I've had pizza at every place in Hollywood that is the best, and they're the nicest in there as well. See this McDonald's over here on the left-hand side? Jay Leno worked there when he was 16 years old. This is the Cheesy Wax Museum, but I like it. They did an old Abbott Costello movie there. They did some cheesy 80s movies there, but I like cheesy movies.
Non, McDo. Ça me fait plaisir, hein, moi aussi.
We're coming up to Hollywood and Highland. Now, Hollywood and Highland is the busiest intersection in the state of California. I like to call it the state of denial. That's my own little spin on things. Souvenirs of Hollywood. Now over here on the left, you'll see the El Capitan Theater, the #1 theater in the United States. It's owned by Disney. It's an Art Deco building. Over on the right, you see the Dolby that used to be the Kodak Theater where Simon Cowell hosted American Idol finales. That's where Ellen DeGeneres hosted the Oscars a couple weeks ago. Remember? Dolby. It's a home of the Oscars now. The Chinese Theater on the right, that was built by Sid Grauman. It opened in 1927. Where the handprints are. That's the first. That's where the first movie played there in 1927 was King of Kings, Cecil B. DeMille. Out of Tussauds, the Roosevelt Hotel on the left-hand side, the birthplace of the Academy Awards, 1928. Marilyn Monroe does her first modeling job by the swimming pool, age 16. Now we're going to come up to Sycamore Street. Up to the right on Sycamore Street, two famous people were found dead. Janis Joplin overdosed of heroin. Bobby Fuller, he sang I Fought the Law won, found murdered. never brought his killer to justice. He killed Bobby Fuller. They suspect that it was the mob. They suspect he owed gambling debts in Vegas. But that's just a theory. That's what my book says. But they never know. Could have been a random psycho. Who knows? Now up here on the left, we're going to go by the 4 Silver Ladies of Hollywood Monument. The 4 Silver Ladies, now that represents the 4 races of women in motion pictures. And the 4 women are Dorothy Dandridge, Dolores Del Rio, Anna Mae Wong, and Mae West. Marilyn Monroe on top, dress blowing up. See the hills there where they fly over and mash. Now we're going to go up Hollywood Boulevard here. The Boulevard of Broken Dreams, I like to call it. I didn't invent that. I saw it on a poster one day. I kind of